Hello, you've reached Ben at Fitness Beyond 50. And today, this segment is going to be about the 5 components of exercise. A lot of times, we will take 1 or 2 of these components and forget about the rest of them. What are the 5 components that's going to help you become more fit? Now, be advised, if you're under a lot of stress and you haven't learned to deal with your stress, you're going to dump a lot of free cortisol into your bloodstream, which is a free radical that really causes our abdominal area to swell, or to get fatter, lots and lots of visceral fat. So many things come from stress, remember, from diabetes, heart problems, you name it. Stress is the #1 killer. With that being said, let's get into these 5 components. First of all, cardiovascular conditioning. What is the heart? The heart is a muscle. If we do not strengthen it and build it, it does what? It's going to get weaker, it's going to atrophy, and we open ourselves up to all types of cardiovascular episodes, issues, things of that nature. So, in order to maintain a cardiovascular level, you need to be doing it a minimum of 3 times per week in order to maintain it. I don't care if you get on a treadmill, a bike, a recumbent, walk, run, row, kickboxing, find some type of cardiovascular exercise. Please remember, you need to be moving the upper and lower extremities to be getting a total cardiovascular exercise. But if you can only do the recumbent because of a lower back or knee problems or stationary bike, so be it. Let's get moving, seniors. Let's get moving. So anyway, how do you figure out your maximum target heart rate so that you know that you're actually strengthening your heart and lungs? Here's a simple way of doing it. 220 minus your age, multiply that times 0.6, 0.7, and 0.8, and that will give you a range. So just remember, as long as you're at the 60% of your maximum target heart rate, you'll be getting a benefit from your cardiovascular exercise, meaning that you'll be strengthening your heart and lungs. Without getting oxygen to our cells, what's going to happen? Things start to deteriorate. So let's get moving. Let's get moving. No excuses. If you get on any piece of equipment, cardiovascular wise, and you get winded at 1 to 2 minutes, you know what? You have accomplished a lot. Add 1 or 2 minutes each time you go in until you can get up to the desired amount. Try to at least work up to 15 minutes, 15, 16 minutes, and then from there, it's a minimum of 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then if you want to challenge yourself, maybe every 2 weeks add 5 minutes until you can get up to an hour. So challenge yourself, but do it slowly. Anything that we do slowly, we're more prone to stick with. Weight resistance is the next component. Why is that important? You want to strengthen your whole musculoskeletal system. If you're female, you can what? Offset premature menopause. We can offset low bone density. We can offset or prevent osteoporosis. You have to do some type of weight-bearing exercise. Of course, there's that aesthetic part about it. The more lean muscle mass you have, you can be more pleasing to the eye. And a lot of people do it just for that. But just think about it. What's the other main reason? The more lean muscle mass you have, the more calories you burn when you're at rest. 3,500 calories equals 1 pound. So if you're leading a sedentary life and you're eating and you're playing video games, you never move, and say the RDA, recommended daily allowance, 2,000 calories per person for an average person, but just say, for instance, you don't do anything and you're eating fast food every day, you're sitting around, you're laying around, and you're lucky to be burning 2,000 calories. Remember, 3,500 calories equals 1 pound, so you're always in the negative. But if you exercise and you increase your lean muscle mass, you may be burning those 2,000 calories just by sitting around, or burning 3,500 calories just by sitting around. So don't forget about your weight resistance. And just because you lift weights, women, do not mean that you're going to look like a professional bodybuilder. That's all a myth. Let's get that off the table. Third, flexibility. Why is that important? Range of motion. As we get older and we don't do anything, our range of motion becomes limited, correct? How many times do we end up with broken hips and things of that nature, and shoulder problems and back problems and vertebra problems? Because we are lazy. Okay, we like to go to the doctor and they tell you, oh, you've got degenerative bone disease, you've got osteoporosis, you've got this, you've got that. You've got arthr, A-R-T-H-R, which means joint, itis, which means inflammation, so inflammation of the joint. They love to tell you that. Those bursa sacs are in there for a reason, to secrete that synovial fluid to help keep your joints more pliable. How do we get that to excrete better for a longer period of time? Stretching. So that's why flexibility is so important for our range of motion. Something I am guilty of not doing nearly as much myself. We were taught in high school, especially if you're over 50, a stretch consisted of this, 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 and you were done. It might have been 2 seconds. Let's spend a minimum of 15 seconds on that stretch, no longer than 1 minute. That's called static stretching. Breathe and relax, and also by holding that stretch, okay, it actually gives you another benefit because it teaches you to relax. So many times we're so impatient. So let's learn to slow it down, get a good stretch in. You can repeat the stretch, but wait a few seconds in between stretches. You don't want to overstretch an area. So flexibility is so important to elongate our muscles and not do concentric movements where we've shortened that muscle and we've trained it that way, and that can give us a lot of problems. And that's why we're starting to lean over seniors and things of that nature. We lean over like we're looking for a contact all the time. Let's get those shoulders back, chest out. Come on. We can do this. Fourth one, proper eating. I know, everybody just like, oh my God. There is so many things out there about eating. Oh my God. We've got the keto diet. We got the paleo diet. We've got the Mediterranean diet. We got the Atkins diet. We have so many diets. It's pitiful. When all you really need to do is eat 5 to 6 smaller meals per day. Eat like you're a diabetic. Graze. Don't hone in on the bad stuff. That doesn't mean that you don't have some bad stuff every once in a while, but let's just spread those meals out. Let's make smaller portions. I will do a segment on these different diets actually. We're going to break each one of these diets down and find out what actually could work best for you. But proper eating, getting enough water, okay? If you're stranded somewhere for 3 days, what happens to you? Without water. So don't you think it's probably pretty important? So, drink some water. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. You need it. Let's get the water in us. But anyway, proper eating. Proper eating. Let's get these triglycerides down. Okay? Let's get our cholesterol down and in check. Let's get off of some of these medications. Okay? You can do this by doing cardiovascular conditioning, doing some weight workout, working on your flexibility, eating properly, and last but not least, the fifth component is rest. All these components above will mean nothing if you don't get enough rest. When does the body repair itself? When it's at rest. All these nutrients exchange when we're at rest. Why do most heart attacks happen at night? Ask your doctor. Because all the hormones and everything between 2, 3 in the morning, all that exchange is going on. We want that exchange to be happening on a positive note, not on a negative note. So get enough rest. Let's recap. What are the 5 components of exercise or being fit? Cardiovascular conditioning, weight resistance, flexibility, eating properly, and getting enough rest. This has been at Fitness Beyond 50. I will be back with another segment on something that's important. Remember, don't forget to subscribe. Ask questions. If you have a question about, hey, how do I work out if I've had back surgery? How do I work out if I've had a ACL or meniscus tear? You know, how do I work out certain body parts? I am here. I will even go to various gyms and show you the machine or show you the exercise. That's what I'm here for. So, once again, seniors, what are we going to do? Get off the couch, get moving, no excuses, make an investment in your health. Because this is about you, not anybody else. Have a blessed day.